Well, hello everyone, and happy Valentine's Day. I have some new orchids, some new orchid blooms. They always feel like they're new orchids to me. Every time they bloom, I get so excited, just like the very first time that I bought an orchid. So I thought I would just take you on a pretty blooms tour today. There are several things here that are just really interesting to me. Wanted to share them with you. As a matter of fact, I just couldn't wait to share them with you. So this is my beautiful Dendrobium Burana Jade Fantasy number 9. I absolutely love this Dendrobium. I love the color of this bloom. I love everything about this Dendrobium. It's a beautiful plant as well. Okay, so let's start our tour here. The next thing you see is going to be a Vanda bloom that's just about ready to pop open. Okay, this is something I just couldn't wait to share with you all. This is my first rebloom on my Robert's Delight Garnet Beauty. Absolutely beautiful color. Had to share with you. I'd say in about 2 days this will be fully open. And I just had to show you what it looks like as the blooms unfurl. Absolutely beautiful. And speaking of Vandas, here are the blooms on my Vanda Cara Blue. Absolutely love the color of these gorgeous blooms. Several of you have asked me how this one is doing with more fertilizer. It is doing fabulously well. I'm so happy to report. So, wanted to show you an update on this one as well. And here is Vanda T Cerise. This is an awesome orchid to show you on Valentine's Day. As a matter of fact, it just reminds me of Valentine's Day. The intense color of this Vanda is absolutely gorgeous. And here is FAL Soho Vivian. I love the color of this one as well. It kind of reminds me of a candy cane. So this one is starting to bloom as well. Still have some buds, and I have this branching down below that. So I'm going to have quite a few blooms on this secondary spike. And here's a pretty little bloom on my FAL Soho Pearl. It looks like I'm going to have about 12 blooms on these 2 secondary spikes. So that is an awesome first rebloom for Phalaenopsis. Let me give you kind of an overview of this one. I love the color of this one, the deep burgundy speckles, I suppose you could say. It's just spotted so pretty, and it's got that yellow on the lip. I like that a lot. And while I'm back in my sunroom, I have to show you my Christmas/Valentine's Day cactus. Look at this, absolutely beautiful. These blooms are huge. So I think that this cactus has a sense of humor. Had to show you these beautiful blooms too. And look at all the buds. You can see them a little bit better today than when I did my update on it a week ago. So you can just see how this is going to be blooming for the next month or so. And I also have some new blooms on my FAL Soho Lawrence Tahiti Sunset. One of them kind of decided to turn a little bit, but that's okay. It's got another bud right behind this top bud bloom that you see, and they're absolutely beautiful. I can hardly speak when I look at this orchid. The color combination of this one, it's just a showstopper. And this one is slightly fragrant in the evenings. Several of you have asked me about that, so just wanted to pass along that piece of information as well. And here's another new bloom on my little FAL that I nicknamed Star. This is the one that was in waterculture, and I really didn't think it was going to make it. So I placed this one in New Zealand sphagnum moss, and it just took off from there. So this is a nice little rebloom that I'm going to have on this one this year. This is the 3rd time that it's rebloomed, and the colors on it this time are more intense than I've ever seen them. You can see a lot of nuance and color in it this time. So I'm really, really happy to show you this one. And several of you have asked me for an update on Foliagelegato. This is the spike on Foliagelegato, and you can see the beautiful coloring of those blooms already taking shape in these buds. I've got 5 buds right now. I had 1 bud that I lost a few months ago due to bud blast. It was very warm one day, and then suddenly it just got really, really cold. So I did lose 1 bud, but I am really happy that I'm going to have 5 blooms on Foliagelegato this bloom cycle. And another plant that you all have been asking me about recently is my Cattleya, because you all know it blooms every single spring. You can see this sheath is bursting open, and I can see a bud on the bottom of this sheath. So I'd say that within the month, this one is going to bloom. I'm so excited because I've got 3 flower sheaths on my Cattleya this year. Oh, it's going to be a showstopper. Oh, and I'll be doing lots of videos when it blooms. Okay, and let's look at some more blooms. You all have seen this one before, but I love this one. This is one of my favorite miniatures because of the paper white bloom with that purple lip. This one is FAL Little Gem Stripes. Absolutely charming. I love growing miniature Phalaenopsis orchids. They are just absolutely wonderful little orchids. And several of you have commented on this orchid. This one I nicknamed FAL Hartley. I absolutely love the color combination on this as well. It's the same white. It's not quite as crisp white as the one I just showed you before. It's more of a creamy white with a dark blush lip. Absolutely wonderful. And here's Falzon Chin Diamond, still blooming strong. Both spikes are. This is absolutely charming because all of the blooms are slightly different. So I love that about this orchid. The color is really, really an eye catcher. And here's FAL Marianne. She's almost completely bloomed out. There's still a few buds that are going to continue to bloom, but I love the color of this one as well. The peach and the yellow with that dark, almost like a reddish lip. So pretty. And here's FAL Carmen. Wow, this Phalaenopsis loves to bloom. She is in bloom a lot. 7 blooms right now. She's elongating her spike again. So this one is just a prolifically blooming orchid. Love the color of this as well. Absolutely beautiful. And here's another showstopper. Several of you have commented on Val Pink Twilight. Wow, these are absolutely gorgeous blooms. I love sharing these blooms with you all. I know I sound like I'm a brand new beginner at orchid growing, but I've been growing these for 16 years, and every time they bloom, every time they spike or grow a new leaf, oh my, you would think that was the very first leaf or spike I ever had. So I just couldn't wait to share with you everything that was going on in my collection today. Thank you so much for going on my Valentine's Day new blooms I've already had in bloom, and my Cattleya is going to be in bloom, so that's good news. So you all have a great day. Be highly favored, deeply loved, and greatly blessed. And we'll talk to you all another day.